the Constitutional Court has finally ruled in our favor, because we have been longing to see, at least for a change, that the president being held accountable. We have always wanted to see this president being held accountable. Just like they say, the Zuma moment. This judgment was nice to see, because for a very long time we have been wondering, is this president actually so much above the law, that we've been wondering and wondering and wondering that why is this court not taking a decision on this. And then finally, even the Justice Maya had seen that she has taken forever, to a point that she had even went on to ask for an apology to the EFF and the African Transformation Movement, saying that her delay in making this decision, she's asking an apology for, in which was granted. Well, I hope they would, but I heard Malema says that it forgives her. But the most important thing is that finally a judgment has been handed down. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting for a judgment which wasn't coming, but now finally it came. I want us to actually listen to a little bit of what the Justice Maya has had to say, especially when she was actually finishing up the judgment. The apologies you can go listen to on a much fuller one, much fuller judgment that she laid, the full one. I actually want for us to actually listen to this.
Is this: the effect of the three judgments is as follows. This court, A, unanimously finds that it has exclusive jurisdiction in respect of the challenge to the validity of Rule 129I. B, by a majority, finds that it does not have exclusive jurisdiction in respect of the challenge to the NA vote. C, by a majority, concludes that Rule 129I is inconsistent with the Constitution and invalid. D, by a majority, concludes that the NA vote is inconsistent with the Constitution and invalid. And E, by a majority, concludes that the report must be referred to the impeachment committee.
And remember that by the majority thing, it was mainly and only because the ANC was a majority in parliament, and they were able to actually overrule the rest of parliament, which had the EFF, the DA, and all the other parties, even the UDM, they are actually now under the GNU, as much as the Democratic Alliance. So that is why people are actually so curious to see, as over time, as things go, how are things actually going to turn out. As I'm also curious, very curious to be, in fact, I want to see just exactly what is it that is going to happen when this period comes. You know what I mean?
Following order is made. 1, this court has exclusive jurisdiction to hear the application with respect to the challenge to Rule 129I. 2, it is declared that Rule 129I of the 9th edition of the Rules of the National Assembly, the NA rules, is inconsistent with the Constitution, invalid, and it is set aside. 3, pending any amendment, Rule 129I of the NA rules shall read as follows, open quote, Rule 129I, heading Consideration and Referral of Panel Report. 1, once the panel has reported, the Speaker must inform the Assembly of the report. 2, the President must be provided with a copy of the report forthwith. 3, in the event the panel concludes that sufficient evidence exists as contemplated in Rule 129G, the matter must be referred to the impeachment committee established by this rule or by the National Assembly rules for that purpose. 4, in the event the panel concludes that sufficient evidence does not exist as contemplated in Rule 129G, the Speaker must schedule the report for consideration by the Assembly, and in the event the Assembly nonetheless resolves that a Section 89, subsection 1 inquiry be proceeded with, the matter must be referred to the impeachment committee established by this rule or by the National Assembly rules for that purpose. 4, the severance and reading in paragraph 3 of this order shall apply subject to any amendment by the National Assembly. 5.
And just as it's buffering, I don't know why my network is so slow these days. As it's buffering, I actually want to say that should also remember one other thing, right? That remember just the previous time when Nkosazana Zuma had actually voted against it, the Speaker, who was actually at the time Member of Parliament, had actually, a normal Member of Parliament, actually voted against this. So the Africans, that's why you're going to hear when we listen to Malema, he speaks about this. He speaks about the Speaker having to actually now show that she's actually for the law or for the party. Because ideally, they had actually made sure that they defend their president at all costs, even against the will of the people. So that is actually what we are fighting here. You know what I mean? Because for a very, very long time, we've actually had to listen and just take it as this ANC are just voting back their master. So they never actually cared to do anything up until today. But we are supposed to just think that this is the best leader for this country. Shame. Because the ANC has got to come to a point where they respect the citizens of this country, the law of this country, and stop putting party interests before us as the citizens of this country, before putting these foreign nationals before the interest of the citizens who are going to be voting for them in the upcoming months. So now the ANC are embattled in this process where they're looking at their leader having been told that they now have to take this whole process back to court. Now the president is going to get embarrassed again. Embarrassing, which is not really nice. It is not really nice, but it seems as if it's something that they keep asking for, because they could have a long time ago asked that this guy can just leave so that the country and the ANC does not have to come and face all of this. They never had to come and face all of this. So we'll have to see as time goes by how all of these things go by. Honestly, we just have to see.
Any amendment of the NA rules to the extent that any of the other NA rules are by implication affected by the reading in paragraph 3 of this order, those rules shall be read consistently with paragraph 3 of this order. 6, it is declared that the vote of the National Assembly taken on 13 December 2022, declining to refer the report of the independent panel to to an impeachment committee as envisaged in the NA rules is inconsistent with the Constitution, invalid, and it is set aside. 7, the report of the independent panel is referred to the impeachment committee established in terms of the NA rules. 8, the first to fourth respondents are ordered to pay the costs of the first applicant, including cost of two counsel,
Respondents.
where applicable. I hand down the judgment. Conclusions.
Listen to the DA, I mean not the DA, the EFF. I think that's probably my taste. It's based by the voice. Already celebrating. I equally celebrated and I clapped hands. I was like, the purpose of dance. Everybody has got to face the full might of the law. We cannot have a country where a president, for some reason, is just above the law. And everybody is subjected to actually respecting the laws of this country. But one person doesn't want to respect the laws of this country. We must just let it be. I don't know who's the best one to become the next president for this country. But if you've done a crime, you must face that. We will rather worry about the rest following forward. To be honest. And this is a video, an actual video that the members of the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighter page, has just dropped. Just reminding us, the people of South Africa, let us take you back to what actually happened on the 9th of February 2020. When criminals broke into President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala game farm in Limpopo and stole an estimated $580,000 US, roughly over 10 million. That was hidden inside a sofa.
Inside a sofa. Ne? Let us go there by read more. I thought now there's some read more that I'm going to read there because I like reading, guys. Now let us watch
exactly what happens here, because this here you are seeing men, crooks of men. There's a video, you can see these guys just walking into Phala Phala there. yo sesele kancane sizophumelela yo kancane sizophumelela. Like, out of all the farms in this country, they decided to go to the one of the president. And I wonder, I'm sure they knew, because people had proper intelligence. Proper intelligence. And they are moving like cats. Like ikete mnyama. Ikate mnyama. Now I am wondering, when this camera was moving like this, was there actually somebody controlling it? Here when I move, stop. Yeah. Okay, now this is a different one. Yeah, I remember seeing this footage. Now they are entering. Breaking and entering.
Hey. These people knew. I just actually wanted to see inside where they're actually taking the money out of the sofa. That is more of what I would like to see. They made sure that they turn that camera to look up. Hey, ditsotsi dikebekwa. Dikebekwa. Dianyonyoba dikebekwa di lata mamilione a Ramaphosa. Ba re haele ba Mzansi ba sa tlo e thola e le gore di mano chatana e kena o yena le ka gona re shebelletse go la lapile ntse re ipotsa gore eng ke ile ga lockdown re sna nix the uno sna nix ga teng, you'd end up having to apply for 350. Ngenani madoda, sebenzani madoda, nifakwe information madoda. But hey, isofa inemali. But isofa inemali. Hey, these guys are brave, young. When you're a criminal and you decide to go to the house of the President of the Republic, just decide to go to the house of the President of the Republic. Yo. Let us listen a little bit to what
partner. Action SA made a comment
DA has to say.
These kinds of opposition parties, he didn't name the DA, but I think it's maybe applicable to your party as well. In opposition benches, they had a lot to say about Phala Phala. In government, with the blue lights, they are mum. What's your reaction?
There's no such thing, Michelle. Good morning to yourself and your viewers. Thank you for having me. Let it be clear. The Democratic Alliance remains a party of ethics, clean governance, and constitutionalism. That has not changed. And so no one, and absolutely no one, should expect the DA to shield any form of wrongdoing, even if that wrongdoing is done by the President of the Republic of South Africa. And so we will never be a party that protects misconduct, that covers up corruption, or weakens accountability for political convenience. And so it is important to note this, because South Africa's democracy that we now enjoy rests on the simple principle that public office is centered on public trust. And so those who hold the highest offices in the land must be held to the highest standards of honesty, transparency, and accountability at all costs. And therefore, the Democratic Alliance will participate fully and constructively in the impeachment committee. We will be guided by facts, by the evidence placed before this committee, and by our constitution.
And what I like is that it is going to be properly put to the test. That will you guys be in the interest of society and the constitution, or are you guys?
What I want to land here as the final important note.
Or are you guys going to be in the best interest of party interests? And South Africans, we are going to be watching this. It is going to be utterly and flabbergastically interesting. Because if this president does not decide to go and step aside, we are going to be wondering about a lot of things, especially if there's going to be something like an inquiry like that ad hoc committee we had. It's going to be more drama, which is what I like and what I'm longing for since the ad hoc has stopped in April. So what we actually need to do is actually to see how things are going to go in this long run. Because it is interesting, especially looking at this take. It was a little bit harder than the one that Solim Simang had given, which was a bit soft, We should also listen to it shortly a bit and then take it from there. But in all honesty, this is a time where we're actually going to judge all political parties, the Democratic Alliance, the PA,
if they're going to stand for the law or to stand for the president and back him up. A lot of citizens will not accept that. They will not accept that. Only a Muhu will find a reason to protect their party and their reasoning for them to not impeach this president. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Here, Michelle, is that what the judgment does, it draws a clear distinction, a clear blue waters between the DA and the ANC. Why? Because for too long, the ANC has presided over a political culture where accountability is delayed, where it is diluted, and it is avoided for political convenience, when it is convenient for them. Whereas on the other hand, the Democratic Alliance has consistently stood for a different type of politics, in which the constitution comes before party loyalty, and where no leader, even if it is the president of the Republic of South Africa in the form of Cyril Matamela, Ramaphosa, is shielded from answering to the people. So the DA's position is clear, Michelle. We remain consistent that accountability, constitutionalism, and the rule of law must always prevail.
Well, you've given us quite a clear...
Well, we shall see about that. I'm very interested in seeing that. I am very interested in seeing should this go all the distance. Will the Democratic Alliance really uphold to what Karabo Kakao is saying? Because I actually wanted to actually go somewhere.
Secretaries and all leaders who are here, the ground forces of the EFF, you made it. You came here and said Phala Phala must be released. Today Phala Phala is out and the Constitutional Court has agreed with you that Ramaphosa must be subjected to impeachment in Parliament. That the Parliament must be taken to impeachment process, that vote of the ANC was corrupt, it was unconstitutional, it is invalid and therefore set aside. Like we told them on that day, you cannot vote to protect crime. You cannot vote to protect corruption, because every vote must be accompanied by rationality. Can this vote meet the rationality test? What was supposed to happen is that after the panel brought a report, we should have sent the report straight to impeachment, so that all the prima facie evidence that they say exists can be canvassed in a transparent manner, where South Africans will get to see the truth through an impeachment process. So impeachment process is like Madanga Commission, it's like ad hoc commission, where Cyril is going to be called and is going to be put on the seat there and is going to be asked, where did you get the dollars? How do fighters who are it's like ad hoc?
And that is the one thing that the ANC would hate the most. Because if you look, this president never faces the media, never faces accountability. Every time he's answering questions, it is at a platform that he can just dismiss you, like mainly parliament questions, oral questions, which he only does for 2 hours, maybe once in 6 months or something like that. So he avoids a lot of accountability, and he's able to avoid all of this, escape it, and be protected. So that is why it is totally not good that the ANC were using their majority to throw this out of court, because there is no rationality behind it,
especially in the context of the law. The context of the law, using majority to cover up crime. That cannot be accepted. It cannot even make any rational sense to somebody who is a law-abiding citizen.
Commission where Cyril is going to be called and is going to be put on the seat there and is going to be asked, where did you get the dollars?
That would be even more embarrassing. Like, so embarrassing. It would not be fair. Like, okay, it would be fair, but it would be not be fair on the ANC for them to ask this guy to continue. He must move aside to save themselves from embarrassment.
How did you bring the dollars into South Africa? Why did you put them into the sofas? So I'm going to be in that committee.
Mzala is already planning to be in that committee. He is so happy to be in that committee. And then he's already informing us. Like he said with the ad hoc committee, I'm going to be in that committee. And he gave us a lot of content.
Because we want to go and see the sofas where the money was there at Phala Phala. Because Phala Phala is a crime scene. We have to visit the crime scene to see what happened in that particular farm where crime was committed. We told them that for as long as the EFF is alive, Phala Phala will never die. And they never believed us. So when you are impeached, comrade, it's not a motion of no confidence.
This is going to be a movie, South Africa. It's going to be a long movie. And I'm here for it. I hope you are also here for it. You are definitely going to be here for it. And I want us to actually see what Nkosazana Dlamini, how she actually responded in the previous ones. And then that's how I will give you guys a parting 2 cents of my own.
NC.
As a disciplined member of the ANC, I vote yes.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Please. Order, honorable members, please.
Oh, hey. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And it wouldn't be fair to conclude this without actually listening to the reaction, the immediate reaction of Vuyo Zongola. Because he was also a part of it. ATM had actually done it with the EFF. EFF and ATM had taken Phala Phala and the parliament speaker to court. So it was a different one. It was also in court, but now it's a different one, but it's still the same ANC. That they actually now have to follow this process, which would now have to come and show us that this president is not above the law. He must also face the law just as any other person in the republic.
Citizens have got no other alternative, but we need to take it to the streets. We need to fight to defend the constitutional order, because there will never be order when the people that occupy the highest office in the land get to violate the constitution, commit misconduct and abuse their powers, and this court protects them. And yet me and you, Esbusiso in the street, is supposed to be law-abiding. We can't allow a South African a case whereby there's laws for the ordinary and other laws for the powerful political players. Therefore, if this court does not do what the constitution requires of it, then it means there's no other way. We need to take it to the street, because we owe it to our South African citizens and our future generations to protect a democratic order, because if we let it slide, then it means we are going to go towards being in a dictatorship, whereby the ones that are in power can do anything, violate the constitution, but nothing is going to happen. Because let's talk about his violations of the money exchange regulations. If you have more than 25,000, you have to bank it. He did not do that. If you receive foreign currency, you need to bank it and declare to the Reserve Bank within 30 days. He did not do that. Why then is it becoming like something as if it's a witch hunt? It's not a witch hunt. It is him who violated the Constitution. Therefore, we can't allow a president to violate the law, because he's not the last president. The next president must learn that if you occupy that office, you will be held accountable. Therefore, exercise your power, your public power that is given to you in a manner that is answerable to the public, and that takes into account that the people must come first, and you need to abide by the Constitution, because the head of state is the first citizen, and as the first citizen, he needs to be the primary example.
This guy just taught me something. Now I go on Google and I check, okay, it's AI overview. There is no legal maximum amount of money an individual can own or store in South Africa. Then, however, you must be able to prove the source of funds and cash transactions exceeding 49,999. 49,999
must be reported to Financial Intelligence Center for travelers. The limit on South African banknotes carried in or out of the country is 100,000 rands. Okay, I didn't know this. So there are some other things. Cash at home, no limit exceeds, but large amounts must be lawfully acquired with taxes paid and funds declared. Foreign. Well, this is very, very interesting. But the president had not done any of this. He had not done any of this. And you can understand, if this was now at the amounts of 10 million, just over 10 million, how much money is that? And where did it come from? Was he involved in money laundering? There's a lot of questions that you can ask. There's a lot of questions that you can ask. And that the ANC has got to ask. Even the country has got to ask these questions. But what is most satisfying is that at the end of the day, like my high school teacher used to say, "Hey team, it's all a muscle little in fana." That's all I'm muscle little in fanaka. Ila matamela.